Hi guys. I'm Cross.
I'm Rosalinda.
And I'm Venom Von Duche.
And we're here to welcome you to drag in all aspects, how we started, where we grew, and how we can give people advice nowadays.
Well, we're basically here to talk about anything and everything. This is our first episode, so welcome. This has been a long time in the making. So, Venom Von Duche, Cross, and I have been together since, when? July last year?
Yeah.
July last year. I met them. They were part of the LGBT Center first, and then I basically, well, the talent search, right?
Yeah.
It was a talent search. It was basically kind of like a gay talent show, and obviously I showed up in drag my first time, and that's when I met them. Obviously, they intimidated the fuck out of me because being a new queen and everything. I mean, but after getting to know them, they're so sweet. You guys are so fucking cool. Like, y'all are fucking funny, I swear.
Y'all have yet to see it, but she floored us. I didn't know what to expect.
Unexpected.
But just the look of her was gorgeous. And as she performed, she was the last one to perform, so she heard everybody's critiques, how we read everybody to filth, and she fixed herself by the end. So she lip-synced that shit. She smiled through her performance. Even she had a prop that failed, but she worked through it. And
professional.
The ribbon. Okay, so it was supposed to be like this rainbow ribbon. Not supposed to twirl. It was by Clean Bandit. And at literally I like the climax of the song, I took out the ribbon, but I guess I just snapped it way too hard.
You're too
So she was like,
nah.
and I was just like, no, fuck it.
You're feeling too much.
So yeah. But that was my very first experience as a drag queen with drag in general. Because other than that, I've just been doing looks at home. Like, I've just been buying wigs.
Just cross
doing full TS fantasy pretty much. What about you? What was your first time in drag?
My first drag, I mean, you could track it all the way down to when I was a child, as having this little witch hat that had one purple track of hair, and I would tuck my hair underneath, and I would wear that shit as if it was a full human hair wig like this is now. But my real first time in drag, like really done up to the nines, was for Halloween. Our school didn't allow us to wear costumes, so I was like, let me play with the rules and let me dress up in drag, because I mean, as you see now, I look, passable.
Okay.
But
No,
what?
you do.
As best as possible. But I made my own outfit out of some scrap material. I made a tube top with ruffles, and custom made my own skinny jeans, from baggy pair of jeans. And I went to school like that, and I made it till about second period. I didn't even make it to third, and they called me to the front office because
Oh my god.
because
I could never.
Because I mean, I wasn't technically following the rules, and I mean, at the time I had to go to the restroom, so I went to the girls' restroom. Boys, I looked the part, and I'm not gonna go to the guys' restroom looking like that. So it sucks to say, but I pulled the card of being confused of my gender, and I don't know what I am, and I pulled that card and I got away with it. But they just asked me to call home for proper clothes because it was a tube top.
Like, this is too much.
It was too revealing, and my mom didn't even know the stunt I pulled. She even did my makeup that morning, but she thought people could wear costumes, so she's like, "Just come home." I was like, "Okay."
It's basically like, we don't care that you're in drag. We just care that tube top is too revealing.
Yeah,
It doesn't come across your abdomen, so.
No, I had everything covered. It was just like this. I mean, everything was covered. I added the ruffle to not make it a crop top. But the best part of that was my English teacher. The security guard came in and was like, we're here for so and so, and he looked him dead in the eye and said, "He's not here." And I was like 2 feet away, and I was just like,
Shit. They're like, he?
and then and like that, because I was dressed as a girl, so he was like, "He's not here," and I was like, "Yes, bitch." But he turned right around and then called my name. I was like, "Okay, I'll go to the principal."
Speaking of my first time in drag, like Cross said, like stems back all the way to like I was 8. My sister dressed me up for the first time. I was kind of feeling it. She used like this clip-on ginger hair clip, and everything else was from Limited 2 or Claire's.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was very pastel. And then she had me go over to the neighbor's house to ask for, well, my little sister was over at the time. She had me go over and ask for like my little sister to come back home. And the look on his face, I'll never forget it.
How old are you?
I was 8.
Oh no.
I just like
That's
looked
cute.
up and I was like,
Yeah.
but my actual first time in drag, like, well, full beat. This bitch put me in drag for the first time, and I mean, as
When
you can
and
see
where was
here, it was
that?
snatched. It was at my house,
Oh yeah, it was your house.
and then the first time I actually went out in drag.
And I'm not trying to embarrass you, but
Oh, there you
guys,
go.
the first time I saw pictures of her drag, I just instantly knew she needed help. It was a black
Hey.
short
I
bob
was feeling
from
myself.
Party City, and that's no front to Party City, because my first drag wig was Party City, but I had nice cute bangs. It was cute. This bitch had it. It was Lord Farquaad. That's what it is.
Was it that picture you showed me?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's her first drag wig.
I tried to like swirl the bangs to make it look more feminine.
God no. And I was like, you need help, doll. Let me put you in my stuff. So I did my face on her. I don't cover my brows, but I covered them on her. You know, slicked her up, put her in my
Taught me all the
black hair.
tricks.
She looked gorgeous. She looked like Snow White because of your pale skin
here
and
I
black
am.
hair. Yeah, now here we
Here
are.
How do you feel like
Drag names.
drag names? How did you come up with yours?
Well, I wanted it to be kind of dirty. I wanted it to be a little bit of a joke. I mean, my mistake was I have to kind of explain the joke. So, started out as Enema Douche, and then I just added the V to sound, I don't know, poisonous and more like sophisticated, and then the douche to sound like I'm German or French or something. I don't know.
What do you call it? My nickname's always been Cross. So, what do you call it? I have my birth name, my nickname Cross. I didn't want to come up with a third name, so I was like, you know what, Cross. It's good enough, and people think, oh, cross dresser, and I'm like,
That's the first thing I thought. I was
Yeah.
like, clever.
I mean, that's not even it, but what do you call it? I mean, I'll let people think what they want to think, just like you.
Same, see? Take your own advice, bitch.
Me, my name came. Rosalind is my mom's name.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
my birth name, I'm named after my father. So like out of drag, I'm named after my father. So I'm like, well, if I was a woman, I would like to be named like my mom, Rosalinda, because it's Rosalinda, which means lovely flower in Spanish. I mean, who doesn't want to be a lovely flower? And I love roses and I love pink.
I'm more Mexican than her, and I didn't even know that.
What advice would you have? Would you have for someone that's like for me? When I started going out to the clubs when I was 18. Right now I'm not 18, but when I was 18,
She's younger. No.
No. You'd be surprised how old she is.
Hi.
even.
But when I first started going out, obviously in Mexicali, legal age is 18. I always saw queens, and I always wanted to do drag, and I always wanted to do everything. Like I wanted to do all that because it was so much fun. It was like I had so much fun watching them, and they looked like they were having the time of their lives up there. And I always wanted to do that, coming from like a theater background. But I was raised in an environment where people were telling me like, you can't wear makeup. Because if you wear makeup and then someone sees you like that, they're probably going to beat you up. They're going to say something you don't like, or they're going to make you feel some type of way. It's better if you just kind of hide who you are and just do what you want behind closed doors. That was the way I was taught to grow up to be gay. Literally is keep everything behind closed doors. That was the idea of being gay to me, is hide who you are, like don't let anyone see you for who you really are. And that was the mentality that I had for the longest time. And my mom's even gay. And for her to tell me, like, hey, I don't really want you being gay out in public because I'm scared that someone's gonna look at you some sort of way and, like, beat the fuck out of you or, like, even maybe kill you. Like, and that for me was, like, I just want someone to tell me, that even though there's all these other dangers out there, like I want to be able to be who I want to be. And I want to know a way to really express who I feel and to express what I want to do. So I never had that as a kid. I never really had that as a child. I started having that more as a self-realization when I started to grow up. It was more of like me getting tired of people telling me no. It was more of like well, I'm fucking tired. I want to wear that lipstick. It's cute. It was just kind of like an inner voice, like, you know what? Don't care anymore. Just honestly, just don't care. At the end of like you're like all these years are going
Life's too
by,
short.
and you're not doing what you wanted to do all these years. What's holding you back? And I said, well, all those people that told me, and they're like, where I came to a self-realization where they're like, where are those people right now? And I'm like, well, they're not in my lives. And that's when I'm like, well, there you go. What's holding you back? And that's when I just honestly, I just started doing what I wanted. And that's when I started doing drag. Oh my God.
I mean, I grew up with that aspect of concealing myself, but I didn't do it because I was told to. I just knew. You want to what? She's hot now. What do you call it? I just grew up with like knowing that wasn't gonna go down well or smoothly. I mean, I had all my Barbies. I played with them around people, but it was like, we don't really want you doing that. I mean, you're not really hurting anybody. I mean, we just don't want. It was very confusing. And as growing up, it became because my parents are very well known in the Valley. Just because it's small, it's kind of the thing of like, people know my parents, so they know me, especially because I look exactly like my mother. So it was, you behave right, because your name is known because your parents and your family. And when it came to time to coming out, they wanted me to look right. They basically wanted me to look like, what's his name? Ross Matthews. There was aspects of my family that was like, if you're going to be gay, be professional.
I kind of see that for you.
Just because I'm like short and chubby, but they wanted me to be a professional gay, as if that's
clean,
as if it's a job that you have to
very
be
presentable.
professional about.
I was like like an upgrade at an app store or something.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand.
Here, I'll give you the money for it. Just upgrade.
And, I kind of just nodded it out. It's like, okay, whatever.
I'll do whatever you want.
And then when it came
just accept me.
Time to being like, I started getting to drag, and I still live at home, so I was just in my bed, and he pounds on the door, and he's like asking if I'm awake, and I'm like, yeah. And then he starts talking to me through the door about my drag and how I need to clean it up. I was never necessarily messy. I've always looked.
He read you.
I've always necessarily looked pretty and fishy, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he saw or somebody told him. But he was like, you're giving 100%, I need you to give 110%. Look right.
When you first started, like, what kind of products were you using? Because I was using some cheap-ass products.
Anything.
I was using Wet n Wild type of shit. Like, I was using that.
And Cosmetics.
I was using that. Well, it's because beginning, I'm like, well, I'm not that good, so might as well just buy cheap products to start off with. So these products were like literally like $4. So I'm like, well, fuck it.
I started with like,
the cheaper the better, right?
Yeah.
When you're younger.
I started with like Maybelline and Elf. Definitely Elf. I wanted to be, because I was like, I couldn't afford MAC at the time. I'll be an Elf girl.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be a MAC girl, but now we're MAC girls.
Yay.
Or just me. I don't know.
You're a MAC girl. I've gone from Wet n Wild to $3 more to Morphe. You've really taught a lot. Like, you've honestly really taught us a lot. Like, I know that day was like the first day and everything, but like after that I was like, I don't know what else to do.
Oh yeah, and I'm critical, and it sounds insulting because of my tone and my face, because I look like a bitch. But I mean it from a place of pure love, because I just want you guys to look pretty. I mean, I didn't have too much to do with you. I mean, what have I taught you?
You taught me not to use Elmer's glue for my wigs now.
That's very true. I usually style.
Take notes.
If it's synthetic hair, I'll style our wigs. I told her how to frizz that bitch, and she bought hers like that. This is human hair, so I curled it. But
The
normally
closest
I have
got.
all the curlers and stuff, so I do some of our wigs. And she gave me one of her wigs to clean up and curl. And I was like, oh, let me clean the lace a little bit. And I was like, the fuck is this shit? And it was some glue that couldn't come out of the lace. And I was like, I called her up. I was like, what is this? And I was like, what glue do you wear? And she's like, Elmer's glue. I was like, no, girl. You need to get
Live
Spirit
and
Gum.
learn. What are some like good investments for starting out drag queens that like every drag queen needs?
Cream foundation. You
Spirit
need
Gum.
Spirit Gum, cream foundation. You need, in your cream foundation, you need your skin tone, like a really light skin tone, not white unless you are white, and a really dark skin tone because it contours your skin tone and then highlights.
Yes, you need the contrast.
It's highlight, natural, dark.
Contour.
It's like literally like from darkest to lightest, like from darkest outer to like the center, the lightest.
And if you do it right, you can just use 2 shades.
Mhm.
Sometimes you could just use your lightest tone and your darkest tone and blend that medium and then make it look like your skin tone.
Mhm.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And airspun powder. I mean, any translucent powder. Nothing that says HD because the flashback is insane. You don't want that.
It's a lie.
And airspun powder,
You can't go.
translucent coverage or just translucent. I personally use translucent coverage. But, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Anything else, I mean, is suspicious. Unless it's stage makeup like Ben Nye. Their
Ben Nye's
really,
amazing.
their setting spray. The Listerine
We
one
all
that
use
smells.
it.
I
It's
think,
strong.
honestly, I think only certain people can handle that Ben Nye setting spray. Because it has alcohol in it. And it feels like hairspray.
And it
It's
smells
really
like
good,
Listerine.
but it's strong. It's for, really fucking, basically, our makeup is
If you wanted to stay on all
technically
that type of
caked
shit.
on, so
Yeah.
I've put it on a few people where one person in particular, they didn't like it. They felt like they had to claw off their makeup because it felt thick. This person doesn't like thick makeup, or just she doesn't like wearing makeup, period, but she wants to wear makeup, so it's confusing.
I'd say invest in a corset. Honestly, best fucking investment ever. When I started, I would just use a belt and just tie the shit out of my waist with a belt, and that was my corset. But then actually getting like a real corset, it gives you more of that like smoothness.
It depends on your pain tolerance too, because the corset she has on, I normally wear. I suggested it to her, but nowadays I don't know. Like, I like to cinch myself all to hell, but today I'm just wearing a waist trainer because it's more bearable to sit in, and it flexes, it moves with you. I got the waist trainer I didn't get it from her, but the trick from her, because she only wears waist trainers, skinny bitch.
It's easier to move around in.
Yeah, definitely.
If we're gonna talk about good investments, I would talk about wigs. What are some good brands?
I personally say more bang for your buck. I'm Style. She has a more expensive wig, which
This is Webster wigs, honey.
which is great and all. But I mean,
a little
if
pricey.
you're getting, it's great. It's great.
Comes pre-styled.
I would very much suggest I'm Style. It's all one word. That's how I started. I only do black hair. This is human hair, which is obviously more expensive. Not from I'm Styles. It's from some company overseas. I don't know.
Or honestly, you could even stick to Amazon wigs. There's pretty decent wigs on Amazon too.
Well, that's where
This
I
is
got my
from
I'm Style.
This is from Amazon, and it's like $17.
Exhibit A.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you turn it. She could have the most expensive wig, but she might not know how to clean it, brush it, whatever. She might have the cheapest
She's
wig,
right.
and it's the most fabulous thing because you know how to.
When I got it, it didn't have like any volume at all. It was literally like a little tiny cosplay wig. And I had to like braid it and poof it and like
Get that good
yeah,
zhuzh.
tease it. Sorry, that was the word, tease it. I was like, what's that word you use on penis? I'm just kidding. Deuce.
Goodbye.
See you next time, dolls.
Ciao.
Guys, I wasn't recording.
It wasn't? No? I was thinking that.
No, I'm just kidding. It was.
Oh, wait, why'd you stop it
You
right now?
fucker!
Hey guys.
Hi. Oh,
Hold on. Let's do a countdown. Hi,
Hi.
guys. Fuck.
You said hi, guys.
I know what I fucking
I like
said.
hi guys better.